There is so much Star Wars happening right now that I don't know when this video is coming out, but I'm writing it in the month of November 2019, which is the month Psychometry got to be front and center in Star Wars storytelling. The main characters of both Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order and the book Force Collector were gifted with this rare ability, so today we'll talk about what it is and how it manifested itself in Force users. Psychometry was a power that let its users see the history of any object they touched through the Force, and beyond the history, it's possible Force users could pick up skills through the object as well. Cal picks up a guitar-like instrument and is able to play a song he had never heard before on it just by sensing it. Psychometry first appeared way back in 1994 in the book The Courtship of Princess Leia, but is probably most famously seen used by Quinlan Vos in the Clone Wars episode Hunt for Zero. Very few Force users had this talent, and it sounds like it was something that couldn't be learned. You either had it or you didn't. Cal claims to have been born with it, but we never see how he learned to control his abilities. Force Collector's main character, Carr, was a teenager when he first began having visions through the Force when he touched certain objects. The visions were incredibly intense and took a mental and physical toll on him every time they happened. Oftentimes he would pass out, but he tended to remember what he saw. He wore gloves to keep himself from accidentally triggering a vision, but I think a practiced Force user who could use Psychometry was able to sense an object's past with or without gloves. As Carr's story continues on and he experiences more and more visions through the Force, he becomes better at handling them until they are no longer a problem. I imagine Quinlan Vos and Cal also had to grow into their powers when they were young. Psychometry seems like both a gift and a curse when it first manifests. That said, if an object has been witness to some seriously awful stuff, the visions could be enough to stop even an experienced user of Psychometry in his tracks. When Cal touches the second sister's lightsaber, he sees her history from before she ever even held the weapon. I think that makes sense. Kyber crystals are living crystals connected to the Force, and they become bonded with their wielders, so yeah, I can accept that Cal could see a lot of the second sister's history, and the emotions he felt holding the lightsaber basically incapacitated him. If someone were psychometric, if that's a word, and they were to touch, say, Anakin's lightsaber, they probably wouldn't be standing back up for a while. And that brings me to Rey. Her vision in The Force Awakens led many people, including myself, to think that she might have psychometry. I don't think that's the case anymore. Her visions are very similar, showing events from the lightsaber's history, but I think that was more a side effect of it calling to Rey. I think the Force was choosing to show her some things rather than Rey subconsciously and psychometrically pulling the history out of the object. But that's basically it for Psychometry and its major appearances in Star Wars so far. I'm sure we haven't seen the last of it, and I've got my fingers firmly crossed for a sequel to Fallen Order, so maybe we'll learn more about Cal and his abilities in the future. Until then, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.